Hi everyone, this is the presentation of BTE 2123 Electrical Fundamental and Circuit Analysis 1, Assignment 3. We are Group 8 in Section 2. I am Wei Jian Kun, student ID TG22072, and my two members who are Tae Wei Ming, TG22084, and Ko Zhong Li, TG22069, will show this presentation with title Inductive Power Transfer. Next, these few points will present in this assignment: the introduction or system overview, how the system or subsystem can impact the society to have better life, convenience, efficient, comfortable, safer, and so on, the role of capacitor and inductor in the system or subsystem, and lastly, conclusion. We will go through this project with theoretical the most and elaborate clearly by oral form with showing the significant points in our slide. Next. For introduction, inductive power transfer, IPT, is a technology that makes it possible to transfer power and digital data without mechanical or electrical contact. It is one of the methods of the wireless power transfer, WPT, that depends on magnetic inductance. Inductive power transfer IPT systems are the most frequently used and well-known power transmission systems that take advantage of magnetic flux distribution applicable to all ranges of power. Inductive power transfer IPT is based on Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction states that when the magnetic flux link with conductor changes, an EMF, which is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux linkage, is induced in the conductor. Induced EMF, E, equal to negative the rate of the magnetic flux. A current flow through the source coil produces a magnetic flux, which induces a current flow in the load coil. The magnetic flux through an area, A, whose number makes an angle of theta, to the magnetic field B is given by magnetic field equal to the product of magnetic field and area by cos theta. The magnetic flux linkage with the coil of n turns, each of area A in the magnetic field B, is equal to number of coils times B times A times cos theta. Next.
Hi, I'm Wei Ming, and I will be the one who explains system overview. In this assignment, we are designing an inductive power transfer for charging an electrical vehicle. Here is the concept of system overview for an inductive power transfer for charging an electrical vehicle. First, the power supply provides current. The current flows through the converter, followed by primary compensation. Inductive coupling occurs between both primary and secondary compensations that arrange close to each other due to there has current flow through primary compensation, which will produce a magnetic field. There is a magnetic flux link with the secondary compensation. A simple and basic circuit of inductive coupling is shown in the next slide. A magnetic field is a field of force produced by a current-carrying conductor, which is inductor in this assignment. This current produces a magnetic field that induces an EMF by Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. The magnetic field supplies electrical energy in the circuit when the supply is cut. Therefore, the energy is in an inductor, which is characterized by its inductance is in the form of magnetic field. When the secondary compensation is brought and placed in this field, the current will be induced in the secondary compensation. This induced current can be used for charging a car, which is wireless, or a storage system. When the current is in primary compensation change, the magnetic flux linkage in secondary compensation changes, and an EMF is induced in secondary compensation. This is called mutual induction. Mutual induction is the phenomenon where an EMF is induced in a conductor when the current in a neighboring conductor is changing. After we know about how inductive coupling works, we can clearly know that the role of inductor is to produce magnetic field so that we achieve the goal, which is to transfer the energy between two compensations without any physical medium. For furthermore information, a transformer can be a best example to explain how mutual induction works, as there will not be any contact between primary and secondary compensations. That's all from my part. Now, I will pass the mic to my groupmate Zhongli.
Okay, now I'm Ku Zhongli, student ID TG22069, and I will present the advantages and disadvantages of the inductive power transfer. We simplified the second viewpoint that how the system can impact the society to have better life in benefits or advantages form. First and foremost, environment friendly. IPT can work in harsh environments as it has two independently and cross paths. It is not much affected by dirt, dust, or chemicals. It does not produce any kind of carbon residues that may have harmful effects on surroundings. On concern that were raised in IPT is regarding the magnetic effect on human beings. However, some research carried out at the Medical School of University of Outlands shows that there are no observable negative biological effects at low frequency ranges. These low frequencies usually do not have enough power density to hit the human body cells, unlike the radio frequencies. For next advantage to our society is robustness and reliability. This is due to the reason that there is no electrical erosion or wear and tear in these systems, as there is no direct friction. The electrical components of these systems are closed completely. Thus, it does not encourage any kind of chemical erosion in the conductor parts. Thus, there is less maintenance request. Differ for the advantages of IPT, the disadvantages also can be ignored in our system for future improvement. Firstly, the health issues. Based on the design of IPT system, the effects of the target system on human health and its interaction with other devices should be considered. As I mentioned earlier, it is environment friendly, but how about the effect for higher frequencies range about the certain value, which is safety line? Studies have shown that if the human body is exposed the frequency value from 10 MHz to several GHz, the body temperature will increase by 1 to 2 degrees Celsius. In addition, there is studies showing that there is an increase in childhood leukemia and various types of cancer in cases of long-term exposure. However, it is not possible to make a definite judgment about the small number of substances in the studies and whether exposure was the root of the problems. On the other hand, highly in initial cost need for this world project, which is applying the IPT system. The reason is that this system have not been popularization and used widely in this era globalization. Most of the vehicles still using the fuel as the source to drive it, which is more commercial and well known by people. Hence, the demand of the electric vehicle just can only include the high income earner. In conclusion, IPT makes the transfer of current without any contacting physically. This IPT-led the world system has the potential to develop different things based on the uncontacting characteristic. This method is better than the conventional wire transfer. For recommendation, by improving the efficiency of the IPT, there are a few factors like coil geometry, misalignment, compensation, topology, and so on. In our option, this circular coil geometric parallel alignment between both coils and the position also parallel in compensation topology can be used to increase the efficiency of IPT. In future, we believe that everything will become wireless completely soon. That's all for our presentation. Thank you.